Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis took hold of modern R&B and molded it into a signature sound that has resonated for over 30 years. Jam and Lewis established themselves as pioneers of uniquely smooth and funky, synth-laden grooves, and are now being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for their musical excellence. The duo even took on a look that was as strong as their sound, consistently donning dark sunglasses, black suits, and black fedora hats, a clever branding move that has not wavered since. James Harris III, Jimmy Jam, and Terry Lewis began working together in their hometown of Minneapolis, Minnesota, while still in high school. They found themselves rocketed into the orbit of rising superstar Prince as members of The Time. That experience was a masterclass, teaching them all about the music business, how to perfect the sound of a band in the studio, and how to take that sound on the road for blockbuster tours. As they created songs for The Time, Jam and Lewis became innovators of the Minneapolis sound, a fresh, energized blend of jazz, soul, R&B, funk, disco, early punk, new wave, and dance. Once they parted ways with Prince, the pair decided to take their producing and songwriting skills and launch Flight Time Productions in 1982. What followed was a string of R&B dance floor hits for artists including Climax, Cheryl Lynn, Gladys Knight, the Force MDs, and the SOS Band. Their preferred musical toolkit included the boom and pop of an 808 drum machine, scorching lead synthesizer lines, and deep melodic bass lines. A sound they referred to as the funky bottom and the pretty top. A sound that would later prove essential to the reintroduction of Janet Jackson. But first, in 1983, an up-and-coming artist named Cherrelle was paired with Jam and Lewis in LA. But after cost of studio time forced them to speed up the creative process, the duo decided to move back to Minneapolis and into a more intimate, relaxed studio environment, where they created Cherrelle's debut hit single, I Didn't Mean to Turn You On. The pair now recognizes that record as a turning point, as the one that proved Minneapolis was their ideal creative space. Jam and Lewis also found crossover success when Robert Palmer's cover of I Didn't Mean to Turn You On reached number 2 on the pop charts in 1985. A year later, Jam and Lewis wrote and produced mid-tempo ballad Human for the Human League, which would top the Billboard charts. It was during this time that Jam and Lewis perfected their approach, that getting to know the artist better would in turn inspire better song ideas. There's no better example of this than the duo's work with Janet Jackson.
I can learn to like this.
In 1986, the pair set out to create Janet's third album. They got to meet, talk, and as far as Janet understood it, just hang out for a week.
When she finally said, hey, when are we going to go in the studio and start working? And we said, oh, we're working. And we handed her, the lyrics to Control. And she looked at him and she said, well, wait, this is what we've been talking about. And it's like, yeah. And she said, so whatever we talk about, that's what we're going to write about? Yes. And she said, oh, great. Okay, well, then I want to write. All of a sudden, it was like a light bulb went off. Like, it was like, I get it. This is what I want to do. This is how we want to do it.
The result, 1986's Control, redefined Janet's sound and launched her into superstar status. Control also gave Jam and Lewis the chance to refine their songwriting and production work into an excellent counterpart to Janet's melodic mastery. And in the process, they created the New Jack Swing style. Jam and Lewis's partnership with Janet Jackson has remained strong for decades since, generating hits throughout the 90s and 2000s. Their sound and work with multiple music superstars has kept fans dancing for more than 3 decades. From New Edition and Michael Jackson to Mary J. Blige and Usher, They pushed artists to new levels and gave musicians a spark that revolutionized sonic exploration and even inspired the next generation of producers such as Teddy Riley and Pharrell Williams. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis took the sound of Minneapolis and made it a worldwide, universal groove deeply rooted in the soul of Black music. 'Cause if it isn't love, why do